Distinguished guests, esteemed colleagues and friends. Vážení hostia, kolegovia, priatelia. Dovoľte, aby som tlmočil čo najsrdečnejšie pozdraví z mesta nad Senou, mestu nad Vltavou. It is a privilege to address you today at this important conference on gender equality, equal pay, and the future of work. Gender inequality has historical, cultural, economic, social, and in some cases legal roots. Gender equality is not only about numbers, about the career choice, about negotiations. Gender equality is an economic necessity. Yet, changing deeply rooted career pipelines and cultural expectations may take decades. Gender equality is also a moral imperative. In 2024, female employment rates were still about 10 percentage points lower than the men's, both here in Czechia and across the OECD. While the gender wage gap has declined over the past 15 years, it still stood at 11% on average across the OECD in 2023. And in Czechia it was 13.6%. At the same time, recent OECD data show that demographic aging could lead to a significant decline in GDP per capita growth. By 2060, this decline could reach 40% across OECD countries on average, and 33% in Czechia. Closing the gap could completely mitigate the fall in the GDP per capita growth rate across the OECD. In Czechia, it would mitigate the decline by roughly 2/3. But no single policy can solve this challenge. But a combination of measures can make a real difference. Let me highlight 3 priorities that are particularly important. Work-family reconciliation, pay transparency and accountability, embedding gender equality in digital and AI transformation. First, policies that support the reconciliation of work and family life for both parents. These include leave policies that are earmarked and used equally by both parents. This also means better household labor distribution. Policies that provide access to affordable childcare of good quality. These policies can reduce so-called motherhood penalty. Same baby, different performance review, same family, different impact on professional career. Addressing these differences requires striking the right balance between family life, childcare, and professional opportunities during and after parental leave. It also calls for the right policies to offer a choice for both parents to decide if and how long they want to stay out of the labor market. The era of teleworking offers new career opportunities to stay connected. My second point is, governments should increase pay transparency as a practical and scalable tool. Even when laws prohibit discrimination, unconscious bias affects hirings, evaluations, promotion decisions, and salary negotiations. Firms should report gender pay gaps, conduct equal pay audits, and adopt gender-neutral job evaluation and classification system to ensure equal pay for work of equal value. By the end of 2026, private sector gender pay gap reporting is expected to be mandated in over 80% of OECD countries, largely driven by the transposition of the EU Pay Transparency Directive. At the OECD, we maintain a comprehensive policy database on pay transparency. In April 2026, the OECD will publish a new report that takes stock of the latest reforms, emerging practices, and practical tools to ease employers' obligations. Lastly, artificial intelligence and technological progress are rapidly changing the world of work. Men and women are not always equally equipped to benefit from it. Women are a minority in the AI workforce, but they are the majority in jobs like clerical occupations at risk of automation by generative AI. And even when women work in the same jobs or sector as men, they are less likely to use AI tools and less likely to feel that these technologies are improving their productivity or working conditions. This matters especially for younger generation entering the workforce today. Gen Z will experience digital transformation more directly than any generation before them. But young women often start this journey at a disadvantage, with lower confidence in digital skills and fewer pathways into tech-driven roles. Evidence from the OECD Risk That Matters survey shows that around 1 in 3 young people under 30 fears losing their jobs because of technology, either because their role could be automated or because they worry they do not yet have the skills to adapt. Without targeted support, these fears risk translating into lasting inequalities, particularly for young women. There is also a risk that existing gender gaps are replicated in algorithms. This makes responsible AI design essential. When developed thoughtfully, AI can instead help promote fairness by identifying bias in hiring, pay, and performance evaluations. Promoting gender equality through digital transformation will be a core theme of the second OECD Gender Forum taking place in July in Paris. And I would like to warmly invite you to join us. Dear colleagues, the gender gap will not disappear overnight. But with sustained effort, decisive policy action, and accountability from employers and stakeholders, we can continue to narrow it, even as our economies transform. I wish you a very productive discussions a prosím, moje najsrdečnejšie pozdravy do Prahy. Prajem pekný deň.